Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today for a cherry on top to share with you this layout. This is my entry, so to speak, into the June YouTube Hop, where we are sharing projects that are inspired by our favorite. So it could be your favorite book, your favorite event, your favorite ice cream, anything that's your favorite. So I have this large photo, and some of my favorite pictures to take are shadow people, my shadow family in particular, and then also my favorite is to scrap large photos. So this is a large photo, and this is a favorite moment in the year of 2021, our summer vacation. So this is my favorite photo from that. Now, when you look at the title isn't going to necessarily specify that, but in part it's because I ran out of room, but I know, and that's all that matters. So I have created a 12 by 12 background by layering 2 pieces of the pattern paper from the collection. I am working with the Summer Vibes collection from ACOT. And then I have this photo that is, it is a large photo. It's just not as large as I normally work with large photo. And I'm preserving the white because I know I need some white space to work with in this very busy layout, because I don't normally use pattern paper and I like white space, and that bottom piece is super busy with all of the different colors in it. And so I need a little bit of white space in order to have that resting spot for your eye as you're looking in through the layout. So I'm centering that onto the background. So that yellow thing there is a tag. It's a tag from a piece of clothing, but I thought I like to save tags and I like to use them in my memory keeping, just sort of repurposing things instead of throwing them away. And I have used a piece of just cardstock, and I'm sorry, I apologize, I don't know what color it is, and found a file in the Silhouette Design Store, and I cut out favorite because favorite is the theme here. And I love that scripty font and how it just sort of goes with the flow of the page. So I want to ground that square just a little bit and tie some of the orange from the top into the orange of the bottom. So I'm going to trim that to the size of the paper, maintaining that white border that goes all the way around. And I love the way that that grounds it and sort of pulls the top to the bottom of the layout together. And I will off camera actually use the wave sticker, and I'm going to put that at the top of the page. So it kind of ruins the proportion of the page, but it grounds, it pulls the whole rectangle together. And again, I will do that off camera. So I don't normally like to cut out the stickers because I like my sheets to stay intact, but I want to maintain the shape of that banner. And so I did cut it out there because it makes it much easier to stick it down. So I need something to cover the GC, and I forget what's underneath the rest of that on the tag. And so this yellow piece of pattern paper works perfectly with it. I think it's the back of one of the pieces that I had previously cut. So I am going to cut that. It's also tone on tone enough that I can write on it, and you can still see the journaling that I will put there. And I do that off camera because sometimes I think these videos get long enough and you really just don't need to see what I'm doing. Writing. I mean, it's writing, right? There's no skill behind that. So I'm going to use double-sided adhesive to adhere that because the tag is a little bit heavier. It's definitely more than 100 pound weight. And so I like the double-sided adhesive for that. So figuring out where I want this favorite to go, of course, I end up putting it where I initially had it, because if I put favorite there, then the summer from the sticker gets lost in that orange, or it's not really orange. It's sort of like a burnt orange. So I move it back up, and I like that overlap of the T onto the yellow there. So the best way to get fine cuts like this down is with liquid adhesive with a fine tip applicator. And so I am doing that to get these down, and I have to pull off the eye. I always lose the dots of the eyes. And so I keep them on my silhouette mat so that when it comes time to finding them and I've actually arranged things where I want them to be, I can actually find them. So there is the dot of the eye going down. And then that will be the first word. Obviously, I'm going to use favorite summer. I had really wanted to do favorite summer memory because I can't say that this is my favorite summer. I don't know that I have a favorite summer. All of my summers are favorite. I really wanted it to say summer memory, but there's not enough space. And as I said earlier, I know that this is my favorite memory of this particular summer. And I think I kind of explained that in the journaling. So we went up to the Finger Lakes in it's not Michigan, New York. And we had rented an Airbnb and the house was so hot it didn't have AC. We did not pay attention to that little fact. And by the second or third day of mice nibbling on our food, we were a little fed up between the heat and all of that. So my husband suggested that we go up to Rochester and stay in a hotel with AC, and none of us were going to argue with him on that. So this little getaway from our getaway was so it was really nice. And we got to go to the beach, which was nice too. None of us are really beachy people. We like to walk along the sand and play in the sand, but I don't know. We're just, sand is not our favorite thing. It gets in everything. I think all of us are too OCD and type A to enjoy sand too much. So this is how I like to put these down. I just like to fold the top half down, kind of similar to how I lay my alphas. Here I'm just trimming it off because it started to it's hard on an angle to pull it away. So holding down the top bits of the banners and then just pulling the backing away allows me to maintain the shape. So I will go in with my anti-static powder pouch and just run the bottom of those so that the bottoms sort of, they're not smushed down to the page. They can be loose on the page. Just adding some looseness and some free flow to the page. So as I'm working on this bottom section here, I start to realize that it is busy, as I alluded to earlier. And as much as some of the things that I want to put there look great there, I don't want to cover up too much of that white space. And B, I've got enough busy that there's no need to put any more embellishments. Sometimes less is more, right? And so this is definitely one of those instances where less is more. So I want to put some twine here. This is baker's twine that is not available from the store. This is from my stash. And so again, liquid adhesive to the rescue, just putting a fine line there and then looping up the baker's twine up the top there. So originally you will see that I have the line of the baker's twine, and that's dangling, but I wanted to have little bows on either side, and so I will cut that off. You'll see me do that. Something else that I will do in this cluster up here is I have a ton of stamps, plethora of stamps, and I'm going to stamp in black a little summer getaway. And I like the way that the black is going to pop the shadow people. So that's the shadow of my family during golden hour while we're at the beach. And then you'll see I'm going to put another element that has black silhouette of palm trees, and it pulls that together really nicely on the layout. So tying the bows, before I apply them. And one of the tricks on twine with baker's twine is to not pull it super tight until you have the bows the lengths that you want them, and then pulling it, because otherwise you warp the twist in the baker's twine there. So again, liquid adhesive to just get that stuck down. So in essence, this is really going to be the bulk of the layout. I'm going to put a few more embellishments, again, because putting too much more is just too much. I will journal, as I said, in the on that yellow tag there. I will also put some orange and white baker's twine in that tag there. It just pulls the orange from the bottom part of the layout together. So I left this in. I was going to edit it out, but just to show you how sometimes it can be too busy. But the black there really fills in that space between the top and the bottom of the layout so that there's some delineation with that tag there. And then you can see in the close-ups how that works really well with the black that is going to get stamped at the top left there. I pop a lot of things up on foam just because it's me and I like to do that, but also it gives dimension to the page and it creates shadow, which works perfectly with the shadow people. So in this spot here I'm using some enamel dots, but I will go back in and I will actually put a fussy cut hibiscus in there as well. So enjoy the close-ups. Be sure to head over to all of the other gals' favorite projects that I will share in the link down below. And be sure to leave a comment in order to be eligible to win a gift card to the Cherry on Top shop. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.